It means the world to me, really. Bear with me. Richard told me so many times I came from the greatest generation, Kimmy, and I now believe that is true. We have so few World War II vets still with us. Richard was a Mason, and he was a 32nd degree. You can only go to 33. And he would often say to me, and on letters that he wrote, and I didn't really know what it meant, but I do now, who will help the poor widow's son? Well, that would be Richard. He helped me raise my son as a single mom, and he helped me raise Emily. And Richard, more than anything, was the best friend that a person could ever ask for. And he was a papa. He was a papa. He taught my son all the man stuff that I couldn't do. He taught him shooting, taught him how to drive and survive in the desert, and just so much more. I remember a story that he told me. He had a deer, and he could get him right then, but he couldn't do it. So, and then when it came to Emily, when Emily came along, he could change it all up and have a tea party with her. And he taught her how to drive too on a dirt road when she couldn't reach a pedal. And when they would slide off into the side, he'd say, "Oh, good job." But my daughter, he did so much for my daughter, and he's just touched every friend that I've ever had has been touched by him in some way, shape, or form, and in a good way. Richard's his father was a doctor, and Richard would always say when people were doing wrong that when growing up, he would always say to himself, what would my father think? And I think I have to wonder what the world would be like if we all thought like that. I learned so much from him, I could never write it down. But I will say this, I believe the biggest thing I learned from him was when I would ask him for advice. He always had it for me. But once in a while I'd ask him for advice, and he would say to me, "Pray about it, Kimmy, you always get answers." As if I had a phone line, and now I know I do. So with that, I put him to rest today, but he's in my heart always and forever. Thank you so very much for coming. The best man ever.